What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for yet another video, and welcome to Aviation News This week number 97. I do apologize that these videos have been becoming more like Aviation News This month videos, but I do hope finally to get to some consistency, but obviously we'll see if that happens. We do have some interesting developments here with Aviation News this week, and one of the things I'm going to start doing is clipping out certain sections of the video and making them into a separate video for those of you who just want to watch the sort of portions. I have gotten some comments from people who have said that my videos are too long, and so they like to watch sort of clips. So some portions of the video, such as this next portion, will be clipped out and made into its own separate sort Aviation News video that you all can watch. I would really like to know what you all think of that, and yeah, if you all like it, I'll continue doing more of it. With the news this week, we have some very interesting developments. One of the very interesting things I find about the aviation industry is taking a look at financial reports for airlines. Now, this can tell a lot about how successful an airline is and what their status really is. So this is some of the information I use to be able to determine if an airline is going to go bankrupt or not, and really where they are currently. The year of 2020 was a very challenging year for many people and for basically every company around the world. Now, a very interesting thing did happen. There were 4 airlines that actually turned a profit in the year of 2020. Every other airline failed to make a profit, but 4 airlines actually turned a profit in the year of 2020. They are Korean Air, Asiana, China Airlines, and Ethiopian. Now, the Ethiopian one is the most interesting, but we're going to talk about the other 3 first because they all have a very similar situation which allowed them to actually maintain profitability. We're going to start with Korean Air. In 2020, they reported a $125.2 million profit despite a 44% ticket sales decrease over the year. Now, for them, this has to do with their very dependence on cargo. Cargo has been a big portion of the Korean Air market for a long time, and so when the pandemic came around, they were ready to take on the additional cargo loads, and in many cases they were able to fly their passenger airliners on cargo-only flights. Interesting thing is that cargo-only flights are actually very profitable. An airline doesn't even need to fly a single passenger to make revenue and to actually make a profit on a flight, just because of how much money they can charge for cargo shipments. The thing is, with air transport, cargo can be priced at a premium above any other transportation service because it is the fastest and it is the most efficient and is often the safest method of cargo transport. Therefore, the airlines can charge more than any other shipping company for their product. And many companies choose to do this because of the very quick and effective manner that the cargo can be shipped. Many of your products that you might order online are actually shipped via cargo airlines, particularly if they're a very long distance object. And let's say you put 2-day shipping on a model airplane, for example. You're shipping it from, say, Alaska to Florida, say Miami. That is probably going to get shipped on an airplane from, say, Anchorage to Memphis, if it's on FedEx, and then from Memphis to Miami. And that sort of thing is made possible because of cargo airlines. Airlines that are set up for cargo operations such as Korean Air, big commercial airliners, did really well during the pandemic because they were able to very easily convert those aircraft that they already had for cargo operations into making more cargo flights, and then they were able to use some of their grounded passenger airliners for cargo service. This was also the same situation with Asiana. Asiana reported a $96.9 million profit in the year of 2020. Their cargo fleet is not quite as large as Korean Air, and their cargo network was not quite as well established, but they were able to operate quite a few flights on commercial airlines, such as I was seeing A350s flying into Atlanta and Chicago O'Hare, and all sorts of very interesting things that Asiana was flying. China Airlines, another airline that has a very large cargo operation, was able to turn a $76.3 million profit. So out of these 3 airlines, they had the least amount of profit, but they arguably also had the smallest cargo network established, but they were still able to make some money, which is definitely better than you can say for about 99% of all the airlines in the world. Now, the final airline that made a profit is a very, very interesting one. Not one that I was expecting, and the way they did it was very interesting. Ethiopian Airlines managed to turn a profit in the year 2020 with an asterisk, a few of them actually. So Ethiopian very quickly realized that their commercial operations were going to have to get totally shut down in March. So they very quickly decided to convert aircraft into cargo operations, and as well as flights for relocating native peoples to their homeland. These operations end up being fairly profitable, and the Ethiopian Airlines actually turned a profit despite the fact they don't really have much of a cargo operations at all. They have a couple of 777s that they use for cargo ops exclusively, but they very quickly converted some of their 787s and some other aircraft into temporary cargo shipment vehicles. Interestingly enough, the amount of profit that Ethiopian made is very difficult to determine. Unlike the 3 airlines I listed above, which list the profit they make, Ethiopian did not exactly list in a concise and easy to find manner how much profit they made. For most airlines, if you want to find the money they made or lost in a year, you can just look up their financial statements, and of course, any company that has stock is required to post these financial statements. Ethiopian doesn't really do it. We know that their revenue they made in 2020 was $3.3 billion, but we don't know how much of that was actually profit. And so another complication is that Ethiopian also considers their financial year to go into July, whereas most airlines do it by quarters based on a normal calendar year. However, Ethiopian is like some companies where they go from July one year to July of next year, so it's really hard to tell how much profit they actually made. And so it is assumed that Ethiopian made maybe a few million in profit. If we had to guess, maybe around $10 million in profit, but not a whole lot. But it is likely, but not certain, that they actually did turn a profit in 2020. They just aren't very clear about how that happened. Moving on to fleet news, we have some very exciting things here. We're going to start here with the British Airways BA Better World Special Livery. This is a livery that a lot of people aren't a huge fan of, mostly because of some of the political ramifications behind the livery. I will not be talking about that. I will strictly be talking about the livery itself. This livery is painted on Golf Tango Tango November Alpha, which is an Airbus A320-251neo. This aircraft was painted into the BA Better World livery on September the 6th, 2021. Now, strictly talking about the livery, I actually like this design. It takes the BA color scheme, basically turns it into a white and blue livery. I actually really like the shades of the colors they use. It appears to be about 5 or 6 different shades of blue on here, and it's quite nice. This light blue paint scheme, a little bit teal. I actually pretty much like it. But yeah, the livery overall is pretty nice. Some of the political ramifications behind it, not so great, but very nice little livery here that you can go plane spotting and try to see if you're in Europe. Next up, we have a very special Southwest Airlines livery, and I want to thank a very specific photographer for these pictures, Gulfstream Guy on Instagram. He is once again featured on the video here, sending some more excellent pictures in. And these pictures are of the new Southwest Airlines special livery, the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary, and the Southwest Airlines 50th anniversary livery. So this is a combination of both Southwest and Walt Disney World 50th anniversaries, both occurred 50 years ago. Pretty amazing. And this special livery is really cool. It says on the front there, 50 years of one heart, and then Walt Disney World 50. This aircraft is in a collaboration with Walt Disney World to celebrate their 50th anniversary, and of course to celebrate the airline's 50th anniversary as well, which is super awesome. Both the airline and Walt Disney World were opened in 1971, and now here in 2021 it's 50 years, and that is really cool. This aircraft is November 554 Whiskey November, and this aircraft was first spotted in this new livery on September 28th. Just like how Delta Airlines had an employee appreciation livery this year, United Airlines decided to also paint one of their Maxes in an employee appreciation livery. This is one of their Max 8s, November 27261, and this is a pretty awesome livery. I believe this is the 11th Max 8 that the airline has received, so they have quite a few of these now. And this livery first appeared on the 18th of October 2021, and I really like it. It's a pretty cool livery here. It has 2 separate sides to it. On the port side, which is the side you're seeing this picture from, it says United Together, and on the starboard side it says Being United. So pretty cool livery here, and of course it's an employee appreciation livery, which is always great to see that airlines actually show appreciation for the employees. These sort of employee appreciation paint schemes are becoming more common now, and I really like seeing it because, you know, it shows some appreciation for the people who work every single day really hard in the aviation industry. The final bit of fleet news for this episode is this interesting aircraft here. Now this is a former Icelandair 757, as you can see. Now it is not currently owned by Icelandair, but it will become a cargo aircraft. And this one also already has North American registrations. You can see the Icelandic registration of Tango Charlie was removed, and it has the November prefix now on it. This aircraft is currently registered as November 19020 and is in the process of being converted to a cargo Boeing 757 PCF, passenger converted freighter. And this is a really cool plane. And the thing about this picture that I really like is it shows a lot of what happens in that freighter conversion process. So as you can see, there is fairly extensive work that is done to the aircraft to make it freighter ready, because that passenger compartment is going to have packages and large containers and other items in it. So all the passenger seating and the full cabin interior is removed, and instead you have more of a bare frame interior, and a cargo load floor with rails is installed, so that way you can put your ULD containers on there and then just slide them down, which makes it a lot easier to walk. Those ULD containers can weigh thousands of pounds. Of course, you don't want people manually pushing them, so they can be easily attached to the rails, and then there's like a rail system that can like move the container down to the back of the aircraft or wherever you want to place it for weight and balance. In addition to that, for those containers to be loaded on, there has to be a large cargo door added to the aircraft. You can see that in the front where the Icelandair titles would have been and the first class cabin. You can see there's now a large cargo door there with that green section. You can see a large portion of the skin there was completely replaced and redone. In addition to that, you can see all the windows have been covered up from the passenger section, and those are reinforced. And because the window area itself is already reinforced to put the windows in there, just covering them up is pretty simple, and that actually adds a little bit extra reinforcement. You can see that the rear cabin doors have been removed. The emergency exits over the wings appear like they will stay intact with this one. The L2 door appears that it will stay intact with this one, but the L1 door has been removed and has been replaced with a smaller L1 door used exclusively by the crew when they are boarding or offboarding the aircraft. So it's really interesting to see how this conversion happens, and I thought this picture really shows it really well. This is a similar situation to that United picture I showed a while, where a picture can tell you a lot about the operations and really what goes into something in the background. I think this really shows how these cargo conversions really do happen. We do have some route news for this week, and that is something I really want to cover more because there are a lot of exciting route news items that happen that I really haven't been covering, but I really want to cover it more on the channel. And we're going to start this week with the Flair Airlines big route news, and that is that they have come to the United States. So Flair started service to the United States for the first time here in October of 2021. They started 3 routes on October 31st, and those are from Ottawa to Fort Lauderdale, Toronto-Peterson to Fort Lauderdale, and Toronto-Peterson to Orlando Stanford, which is the secondary Orlando airport, most famously operated out of by Allegiant Airlines and also a U.S. Air Force base. On November the 2nd, the airline also started service from Toronto to Las Vegas. Now this is really exciting because they are operating from Ottawa and YYZ to 3 different destinations here in the United States, and I think these are all excellent vacation destinations that Canadians want to go to, particularly this time of year. And so I do hope Flair has success with their new market and their new operations. It's always cool to see another airline arrive in the United States. So that is it for the news portion of this video. I do want to talk about some things that are happening on the channel because there are going to be some major changes occurring here at the Citrus Aviation channel. First off is that I am moving. I actually got my own place for the first time now, moving out of the basement to my own apartment, which includes a dedicated room specifically for aviation videos. As you can see with some of the footage I'm going to be showing here, the room is quite large and will have tons of space to be able to make aviation videos. I can do airport updates in there. I also plan to make a corner of the room into a recording studio, and where I can hopefully do a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time, some of you know about, but it's going to finally happen. This new space should allow me to make even better videos and to be able to make them more efficiently and quicker, and of course hopefully improve the quality as well. So I'm really excited about this opportunity that more aviation videos are finally coming to the channel, and we're going to have a lot of exciting things happening in the future. Now, there is going to be a transition period that happens while I move from the house to the apartment, and some of these things will include that I'll have to temporarily suspend airport updates for a little while. This will probably be for about 2 or 3 weeks. I'll have to suspend airport update videos, and some other videos will have to be suspended, and we're going to put in a lot more real-life aviation videos I've been trying to do for some time anyway, but they are still going to be really good, and I will still make the best content that I can. And one of the things is, once the apartment is moved into and I have everything set up, we're going to make a ton of really good model aviation videos, and my goal is to make the best model aviation videos on YouTube, and so they're going to be really high quality, and we're going to have some new types of content. We're going to finally announce those new airports I've been talking about. There'll be 2 or 3 of them. We'll see which ones I decide to do, but I've been thinking of doing a couple, and I'm really excited to bring some content to you. We have a lot of new models that'll be in massive unboxing number 10, which will be the largest massive unboxing for model airplanes ever on YouTube. We will also be able to do some more like in-person videos, so I really want to actually start like having a setup like how a lot of YouTubers have like their own little like corner of a studio, and I'll actually do some recording from there. At that time I'll do my 2,000 subscribers special, which will be a Q&A, and we're going to have a lot of other exciting things happening. So there will be a little bit of a different content here coming towards the end of the month, but it's still going to be really high quality and ones I think every single viewer will be interested in. And we're going to start that new fleet series as well, and we're going to have more videos on top 10 airlines that went bankrupt. We're going to cover that, and we're going to do a top 10 airlines to go bankrupt in 2022. Obviously that video did so well from last year's version, why not do another one, and y'all seem to really enjoy it. We're also going to finally start doing trip reports. I've actually flown quite a bit this year. I've flown 4 times, a total of, I think it was 7 flights. Yes, 7 flights. And then my brother's taking 2 flights here in late December that he's going to be recording, and then we'll have a trip report from that. So a lot of really exciting content coming down the pipe. And the first of that will be my Minneapolis trip report. So I'm sure you guys will really enjoy that. It'll be covering the entire trip because I think it's important to cover the entire thing in one video. And I might do the flights separately, we'll see. But I really enjoyed the Minneapolis trip. I got to visit DG Pilot, bought some models from them. All good stuff, and I hope that this new transition is something y'all really enjoy. I really want to make the best content for y'all possible. This transition will take, as I said, about 2 to 3 weeks, but it should be one that will allow for even better videos coming in the future. And one of the first videos, probably the first video 2021, will be introducing the new Citrus Aviation channel, how the new look will be, and what sorts of things you can expect. But right now I'm just giving you a little bit of a hint of what it might look like. So yeah, we got some exciting stuff coming, and that is pretty much it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for your patience while this transition occurs. I also got a new vehicle, which I'm really happy about. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I like it. It's a good trim. It has the options I was looking for. I didn't really need a super loaded one, but it had the options I needed. And yeah, it'll be great for off-roading, and particularly for winter driving, because as a ramp agent, you gotta show up to work regardless of the weather conditions. And of course, that 4-wheel drive will be outstanding in the winter time, as it is now winter here. So that is pretty much it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless you.